Hey, Rounduppers, my Roundup family, greetings. This is Chris Haskins with the realestateroundup.com. You know, my mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. In doing that, I have the honor and the privilege to hang out with experts and winners such as attorney Jessica Segal. Hey, Jess.
Hey, how are you? Happy Friday. Friday, as I like to say.
Friday.
Friday.
Oh, Lord.
I know. I love Fridays, which I know I work for myself. Really, any day could be a Friday, but I love Fridays because I think anybody who has also like kids or just, like the weekend is your time to just really connect with family and my friends and not get distracted by the chaos of school and homework and work and dinner and dishes. And I don't know. So I'm always happy on Fridays.
That is true. That is true. I'm thinking about maybe sleeping in for an hour tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that is nice. Now, wait, can I point out on the screen, I see, well, of course, your cute, furry little friend there, but did you get the Yeti microphone?
I did get this thing, and then this thing sounds
It
crisp.
sounds so good.
It's crazy.
Like, this is incredible. So good purchase. I know I have some friends that do podcasts that recommended that. And I definitely, you're upping your game a little bit more each time.
You gotta do it, Jessica. You know, I
Absolutely.
interview people, and then I saw people commenting. They were like, "Chris sounds like trash." I'm like, okay, I gotta step my game up.
That's right. That's right. Investing in yourself, right?
That's right. That's right. So what's
Oh my
going on this
God.
week, Jay? Got a million things to talk about Roundup family. We've got about 15 minutes. What you
Yeah.
got new?
Oh my goodness. So a day in the life, man. This week really was crazy. I mean, they're all crazy because I wear a lot of hats, but I've been briefly telling you guys about this business partnership divorce that I've been working on for months, and it
Uh,
just gets uglier and uglier by the day. And I had a big motion answer due in court this week, and
what's
it's
a
very
motion answer for
stressful.
people that don't have any? What's a motion answer,
So
Jay?
sure. So basically, the other party moved to dismiss all of my claims, all of my
Oh
causes
wow.
of action. And so I have to respond to it. And then the court makes a decision whether or not the case can go forward to trial. So it's a
Mhm.
big deal. There's a lot of pressure. Obviously, I don't want to let my client down. And so, I mean, I spent probably 7 or 8 hours just doing legal research
Good
and
gracious.
another, 7 or 8 hours just writing it. And
Mhm.
then today, the court system is electronic filing. So, I had probably like 15 different court exhibits that you have to upload into the e-filing system. So everything just takes
Mm.
a long time.
So you don't
So
take
I
it
was
down there anymore?
very,
You don't take docs
um,
down to the courthouse anymore?
you have to do both. You have to electronically file
Uh-huh.
and you have to provide the judge with a physical copy.
What? Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy. It's a lot of work.
it was such a relief to get that done. I can't even tell you how happy I was to get that done. And then in between all of that, I was dealing with trying to get my two-family rented. And so I had, I'd been working all day dealing with, my family, things like that. And then I've been showing the apartment. So I do a lot of screening first. I do not show somebody the apartment unless they've already passed my screening. And,
Mhm.
the changes in New York, as a result of the Tenant Protection Act of 2019, I mentioned this briefly,
Yeah.
there's a lot of restriction on what you can ask somebody in your screening. I mean, you can't ask people what they do for a living. You can just
What?
ask, what is your annual salary, to make
You
sure they can pay the rent. You can't ask somebody if they are um, a U.S. citizen. You can't ask them if they've been evicted before. You can't ask any of these questions anymore. Now you're allowed to do a criminal background check and a credit check, and that will reveal the information, I'm sure. But you're not.
Mhm.
You can't. You have to be careful not to be discriminatory against somebody based upon the questions you're asking.
How's it been
So
discriminatory if I ask you if you ever that's the first thing I ask people. Have you ever been evicted? Yes or no?
yeah. So, but I know,
Honestly.
but But so the fact that they've been evicted in the past may not be relevant to whether or not they can be a good tenant now, right? So,
So politically correct.
I'm telling you. So, needless to say, my screening process is there, and I have to say I was thrilled to get a call this week from a veterans group for military veterans.
Nice.
Who had seen my ad posted and asked if I provide housing for veterans, if I would participate in their program. I'm sure it's similar to like a Section 8 type program.
Yeah.
And I was thrilled. I would love to help out veterans. Unfortunately, my space was too small for his family needs, but I said, put me on the list. I'd be happy to provide housing if I could to our military veterans. So it's great to know. It's great to know in your neighborhood all the different programs that are there to get a quality tenant, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's paying the rent as long as the rent gets paid.
That's true.
So I was fortunate. I found, after my thorough screening, I left it vacant for almost 2 months because I felt like I didn't have the kind of tenant that I really wanted in there. And I would rather have it vacant and lose some money than get somebody in there that's going to be a problem down the line. And I really have changed my mindset over the past year. And we've talked about this too, an abundance mindset. And I kept, instead of freaking out about the fact that I had another mortgage payment and no rent, I really turned my mind to say, God will provide. There will be the perfect tenant. I know it will work out. And the right person is out there. And it really suited me well for my positive mindset. And I found who I have no doubt is a good tenant. We're going to meet at the end of next week to get a deposit. And she's a single mother who really wanted to be in the school district. So I know I'm helping out another mother with their kids. And so that feels good too. And we have a good understanding of what kind of relationship we're going to have as landlord and tenant. So my advice would be patient and make sure you thoroughly screen your tenants. Yes. So that was good. And then the other apartment in that same building is becoming available next month. So I'm gearing up to start screening that. And I have showings for that apartment next week.
Good
so it's kind of like, just keep juggling. Just keep the balls moving.
It never stops, Jay. This is a terrible time of the year for vacancies too. You got Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But
business.
What do? You can't do anything about it.
That's right. So I will say this, my tip for Friday, having just finished this enormous motion answer with all these court exhibits, was my client did a fantastic job of keeping records of every email received and different things. So, and social media posts and different things, so that I could attach them to my core papers as proof of my claims. Gotcha. So if you're dealing with a hostile business decision, partnership gone south, or a joint venture agreement, or even with your tenants, anything, I highly recommend to keep every email or social media post, screenshots, keep them, a hard copy somewhere or on your cloud, whatever. I use Carbonite backup for a lot of things. It's a great service, whatever you like, so that if you ever find yourself in court, you have access to all of those records.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's pretty much my week. Tenants. No. Core papers.
Some of the juicy stuff. You can't get into any of the. How many hours do you have into this thing, Jay?
Oh gosh, I should have checked. I would say well over 100 hours, I'm sure.
Oh my Lord. And these are, I guess I want my rounduppers to understand that when business goes bad, which no doubt, anyway, I mean, they could have prevented it with a good. Could this have been prevented? Let me ask you that. Could it have been prevented? Because I feel like when somebody's doing dirt, it's kind of hard to really.
I think everybody has their own role and responsibility in a dispute. So I think every dispute could have been prevented at some point with better communication.
Gotcha.
but there are certain people that you just cannot effectively communicate with. There are people who are just simply narcissistic behavior, or people just are thieves. Like what are you going to do with that? So you just have to be extra vigilant to check your bookkeeping, your records, your bank accounts. I mean, that's our role as business owners. You can't let it slide. You have to check every month. Look at your records. If you have a question about where money's going, ask the question.
We got about 5 more minutes, Jay. I know you were mentioning something about you and I going down this path. I don't know how much you want to share, if at all, about all money's not good money and you taking your spirit and your life energy in another direction.
Yes. I mean, we've talked offline about, it's really important to me that I provide for my family in a way, though, that aligns with my soul. And so I went into business for myself so that I can work with people and put my energy into projects that serve me on a personal level. And so when dealing, so I really limit what cases I take on now, because even though they pay really well, civil litigation, they take a lot out of you emotionally. And they can really wear you down, because civil litigation is nasty. People fight for no reason. They argue for no reason. There's this whole contentious nature. Nothing about civil litigation is civil. And so that just doesn't really align with my personality. I'm a very positive. I aim for compromise, negotiation. I'm respectful of other people. So, I want to going forward, be more selective about the cases that I take so that I feel good. I'm providing for my family, but from a good perspective. Like if I turn down money, even though it's really good money, but it's not serving me well, or it's causing me mental stress, physical stress, that affects my health, then it's just not worth it. The money's not worth it.
Gotcha.
And I really do believe that if you close the door to something unhealthy, you're leaving the space in your business for positive, good money to come through the door.
That is right. You can only hold one thing in your hand. When you have to let go of that one thing for something else better to come in.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I said. So I've been I mentioned to you, I'm working on an e-course. Yeah. And I want to work on an e-course. So by saying no to some of these litigation cases that, even though they'll make me a lot of money, they take away from my ability to create this evergreen product that I know will eventually make even more money than those litigation cases. Right. And I can help more people. Absolutely. So I'm making that a choice to say no to some cases, even though I could make short-term a lot of money, because I'm working towards a bigger goal that I know will serve me and the community better.
I'm telling you, when your purpose is so big, Jay, it's easy to turn that stuff down.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want this. I'm done with this.
Yes, I agree. And I see it. And you inspired me a lot in that regard. So think about the impact you're having too.
Oh man, I appreciate that, Jay. I appreciate that. All right. Well, it's 3. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you guys go have a great weekend. I'm always available if you want to reach out. I know a lot of viewers do email me and we chat and we talk. So I'm here. Feel free to email me.
If you go email Jessica, Harry, Rounduppers, I'm going to say this. I'm going to leave Jessica alone. She gives a lot of her time for me, and I give a lot too, but y'all write the lady a check. If y'all going to get her to call her up and ask her a bunch of questions, do you have a link that you can send them if they want to get you just for a quick consultation? You can do that, Jessica?
Right. So I'm going to try and work on that this weekend. But for now, you can just email me at jmepropertiesllc@gmail.com. And this weekend, I'm going to work on setting up like a calendar app and the PayPal link so that we can just make it seamless.
That would be, to me, it's like as I move forward in business, if I charge, then I can dedicate that time and I'm not thinking about anything else, trying to make money to serve you and give you free information. Is that where you're at with it, Jay?
Yes, that's exactly where I'm at. Like there's just not enough hours in the day So I need to pick and choose where I devote that time. And if it's someone's willing to pay for that, then they're serious about it. They really want to make that effort, and I'm willing to then devote that time slot to them.
Yeah.
You know,
And your brain, I'm just thinking for
yeah.
whatever you're going to charge since you've been doing this since 2000. Good gracious, I don't even know what that's worth. I mean, is that can you put a price on that? Your degree, your experiences, your court cases?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I say that all the time. Like, just because I can give you the answer off the top of my head in 2 minutes doesn't mean you should only pay me for 2 minutes of time.
There you go.
Right.
20 years.
Yeah.
Ah,
Cause I can answer it that quickly because I've been doing it for 20 years. Right. And
that's
same
a
thing for
good
you.
statement.
Same thing for
You're
you.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe, share this information, and we will see you on Monday for Monday Masters. Thanks, Jay.
Have a good one, everybody. Take care.
All right, peace.